What in the world? Alright, what's up internet people? My name's Sean. I run MailleWerX.com. I am the monk of metal, the abbot of aspect ratio, the cardinal of closures. T-shirt material. There we go. That's what I want. Turn that way down. Share. Right post. Is there an emoji for chainmail? How about armor? No? We'll just write something. Making a... All right. Let's get Frank over here. We're all set up and ready to party. All right. Sean White has shared your stream. Has he now? Shocker. All right, these need to go away. Okay. We'll wait a little bit. People start rolling in. I've got a problem. I've got... Let's see what we're working on tonight. We're going to continue on with this skull bracelet I got going on here. Alright. I need about $500 in a new camera. Okay. We're going to take this piece back off because it's not what I want. And we might be able to do it the easy way. We'll see. Kind of worked. Okay. Where is the opening to this ring? There we go. So what happened was that these 18 gauge 3/16 rings were too big. And they're causing issues with this like little X marks the spot kind of bead I got on here. So we're gonna... What did we finish up last night? We got this far actually. Try and slide this out here. Need two hands for this. Come on. There we go. We'll do that and then we'll try this again. This bead was not sitting correctly. I'm hoping if we change up some of the dimensions of some of the rings, it will sit a little bit better. And then we'll reattach it. Alright, so one of these bracelets, and I don't know which one, but it'll be one of the ones I make soon, we are going to waffle away. I don't dare say the R variation of that word, because Facebook has a tendency to really mess with people's accounts after they do a waffle. One of my childhood friend's parents is in the hospital right now, and he's very, very sick. He got there is a GoFundMe link on my main page on my personal account, and you can go through and read the story. And basically, he went to the hospital, discovered he had some serious things wrong, and things just got worse from there. And so right now they're trying to. Hey, Kat, how are ya? They're trying to raise some money to help the family get by. Now, I have known this family my entire life. We have not always remained in good contact with each other. But, you know, just friends with them on Facebook and whatnot. I grew up with these guys. And probably from about the age of, I don't know, 3 or 4 until I was 7. No, 7, 8, 9, something like that. I was over at their house literally every day. And so I had my friend's parents in my life for a very long time as a child. You're doing good? Finally sitting down to do some chainmail since Sunday? Nice. Always a good day to make some chainmail. So anyway, what I think I'm gonna try and do, I'm gonna waffle away one of these bracelets and then waffle away something from the website. I think it's how it's gonna have to go down. And hopefully, lots of people participate. And then all the funds will just be submitted to my friend for her dad. Hey Wally, how you doing? What is going on here? We're talking about waffles. And people I grew up with. And we're making a bracelet, or trying to make a bracelet, rather. Come on. There. What I'm gonna add 4 rings to each side here. And then put the bead on. That way these are 19 gauge 5/32 rings in order to fit through that bead there. And then we'll kind of box it in with some 18 gauge 3/16. You're super. Trying to make the color a reality. Nice. I saw some colors coming from your website, I believe. Got purple. I think there was a purple in there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that when you say you're trying to make color a reality, that's what you're working on? Adding colors to your website? You had a successful run and it's up. Second run not so good. Ah man. Trial and error sucks. Just want it to work out the right way the first time. Because you're anodizing aluminum. Yeah, orchid purple. And my understanding is that that is a whole chemical process that it's for people smarter than me, to be quite frank about it. Alright. Okay. Get a couple of rings here. So, temp, pH, saturation. Oh, man, yeah. Why stick with stainless steel? Don't get me wrong, I love the brightness of your rings. They are ridiculously shiny. And I enjoy working with them. But when you add color into any piece that I do, I'm not good with color. I'm not colorblind by any stretch of the imagination. One new follower. Love, Smile, Laugh is now following. Sounds like a page. Thank you, Love, Smile, Laugh. All right. So the GoFundMe is for my friend's dad, who I grew up with, and he was always there. They had this enormous German Shepherd named Shadrach, and I don't know if he was enormous because he was actually a big German Shepherd, or if I was just like a little kid and he seemed a lot bigger than he was. And there were a couple of prominent memories, right? I remember I had a Lego set that had like a little person inside of it. I don't know if it was like an original Lego person attempt before they came out with the guys with the arms and the legs, but this was just like a block with a head. And now, you know what? It must have been part of a set, because I know they had Lego Men out before this occurred. Anyway, so I remember getting really upset one time because I thought that they had my little Lego person there is with Shadrach. Shadrach ended up biting a kid pretty badly, one of the neighbor kids we always hung out with, and I was not there for that, but he had gotten bitten from his eyebrow all the way back to behind his ear, is where his Shadrach bit the neighbor kid. I remember that. Then I remember, okay, so I was probably 7. You'd have to check when Ghostbusters 2 came out. I had never seen Ghostbusters 1. I grew up in a very religious household where we did not watch Ghostbuster movies. Right? I saw Predator. I saw Alien. And I don't know, maybe my dad just wasn't into Ghostbusters. I don't know. But I'd never seen like a comedy horror movie or comedy scary movie. I don't know what genre those are in. But we watched Ghostbusters 2 and I was very young, and my friend Jason, the kid that I hung out with all the time, he watched what is the freaking Tales from the Crypt, right? they had HBO, and he watched Tales of the Crypt before he went to bed. So he's used to, like, slightly scary stuff. You know? I laugh at it now as an adult, but at the time, having never been exposed to something like that before, Ghostbusters 2 scared me. So did Tales from the Crypt. Ghostbusters 2 scared me so bad that I had to have my dad come and pick me up and take me home, and I had nightmares the rest of the night. And I don't know why. Excuse me. And then, so this was in the 80s. And I remember my friend's dad having a Playboy in the garage, right? And we were not allowed to be in the garage, so I don't know what I was doing in the garage, their garage, hanging out with Jason, screwing around doing something, right? And one of his dad's Playboys was in the garage, and I was spending the night. And so later on that night, we were 7 or 8 at the time, and we're getting ready for bed. Jason had a water bed, and I slept on the floor. Jason was like, "Hey, come here, let me show you something." And we're both sitting there laughing at these dirty pictures. We're like, what girl would take her clothes off? That's so weird. What's going on? Right? And then, of course, we hear someone laughing. And we're like trying to hide what we were doing. And his parents were like right there. "Hey, Rick, how you doing? Thank you for dropping in. I appreciate it." So me and Jason got busted looking at Playboy when we were little kids. You know, and that's, those aren't the only memories. We rode our little BMXs and Puffies around the neighborhood, and we had a giant canal back where I lived. We would always ride along the road. There was a swamp where we collected pollywogs, and so anyway, I grew up with this family, right? And we've always been friends, And I know that their mom had a stroke a couple years ago. I guess she's doing okay now, last I heard. And then their dad, if you haven't read the GoFundMe, he went into the doctors, and they found a tumor on his colon. And then he got septic after the tumor removal, and now he had to be placed on a ventilator, and he wasn't eating or drinking anything. So he went to the hospital. They found out he was really sick, and then he got even more sick. So that is why I'm going to be giving some stuff away, trying to raise a little bit of money for them. So when that post happens, if everybody watching could, like and share and, post a comment or whatnot, just trying to get it as far and wide as we can. I'm going to post it in as many areas as I am allowed. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can raise a little bit of cash to help them out. So that is why the waffle is going on, just in case anybody was curious. Right. Excuse me. I am almost out of rings for these. I am hoping what I have left will get me through this one bracelet. I am working with, I had to email Josh. Josh Diliberto, to figure out what rings correlate from TRL to his website. Because the ones I'm working with, okay, I think the issue is American wire gauge versus standard wire gauge. I don't know how well this is going to show up, but I will try to show you anyway. Okay. And maybe I'm just seeing things. But these two rings, the one here just seems a skosh larger than the one in my right, your left, right? And not diameter wise, like wire thickness wise. I gotta double check with him, make sure that it's the same wire standard. And then I will order some more from him. I know I already have one order on the way from him. And then this next order should get me set through this run of bracelets. I just gotta clarify with him real quick. And then put the order in. Should be good to go. And then I will make up a bracelet, and then I will pick something from the store. I'll probably give away a hooded blanket, just to be honest. Or maybe I'll make it. That would be interesting. Maybe we can get more people in if we make it the choice of the person, just open up any item in the store, you know. There's $5 entry fee. If you win the raffle, you get to pick anything you want, right? I don't know, what do you guys think about that? How is everyone this evening? Speaking of that, kind of just been explaining what's going on with my friend and their family. We got these two pieces, and then we can add the next little cross bead here, or X bead. And then hopefully we can add these little skulls. I don't know if we'll get to that tonight or not, but I don't see why not. Yeah. Where's the time? Yeah, it's only 25 minutes in. We got plenty of time. Oh my goodness, come on. If I let someone have like their choice for what item they want, you would recommend a max value? Well, they only get one of something, right? So as much as I would love for them to pick the cheapest item in the shop, you know, I think that we would, I don't know, maybe attract more entries if it's just like, yeah, okay, you could win a hat or a mouse pad or a cloak or a blanket or a pair of boots or I don't know, whatever else I have on the store. Because that's like, you know, ideally you get more entries than the item costs, but I'm not really worried about that, right? I'm just going to pay for the item out of pocket and put it up, you know, as a prize. And then all the money will go for my friend's treatment, you know? Like, I'm not trying to recoup my costs, but there's items in my shop are only so expensive, but I do get what you're saying. You know, I wouldn't want to. If I had more expensive items on there, then I'd be worried about it, but I think the most expensive thing on there is a pair of boots. So I'm okay with digging in my pocket for that one and then just sending them whatever I can raise, you know? So what is everybody else doing this Wednesday? I know Kat's working on some chainmail. Come on. Eating false APL 24 gauge and trying again? Oof. Alright. There we go. Oh. Skull bracelet with two, I don't know, I call them X marks the spots, but uh-oh. Uh-oh. What are we doing? Get back in there. Alright. Alright. Oh, and of course that falls right off. Get out of here. Don't do that. The larger rings are supposed to hold you in place. It's kind of a pain until everything's put together. At least that's been my experience so far, right? It's like nothing's really in place until like the whole bracelet is together. one side. Stop it, you're embarrassing me. Go in your home. There we go. Come on. Come on, get in there. There we go. Come on. I got this ring from the Byzantine just like catching. That's not annoying at all. Trying to get it through this space. And it doesn't want to play nice. Alright. Come on, nothing's caught. There we go. Of course, something catches again, right as I say that. Gotta be kidding me. Like, everything's in place. There we go. There. Don't move. Alright. That only took an inordinate amount of unnecessary time. Okay. Alright. Need 2 ring sizes for this. This will be the last little bit of rings. Oh, wrong set of pliers. Alright. I do want to keep these piles a little bit separate in case things go haywire, as they are prone to do. I do find it much easier to build these bracelets, you know, starting with the center bead and then moving outwards, you know. Makes, despite, you know, having beads fall off when they're not supposed to and get out of place and whatnot, it makes a tremendous amount of difference. Missed a ring there. So I started working on a new social media platform. Thanks, babe. And got to figure out how it all works and everything. But I'm sure everyone here is a fan. But I'm gonna start trying to do some videos on TikTok. Just because the way that platform works, the reach is, to be quite honest, it's it outpaces Facebook and Instagram by miles, right? So I'm gonna start working on content to put out over there. Probably won't be anything different than what I put out here. I know you gotta like build up to a certain number of followers before you go live and whatnot. I will figure it out. Hey Kevin, how you doing? All right. What are you up to tonight? We are making a bracelet. So there's a lot less restrictions over there as far as what you can do with music, what you can include in your videos and whatnot. And like I said, the organic reach is the whole point of the platform. And you know, yeah, it's a data mining app that is owned by China or whatever, but people are still getting, you're drinking a Shinerbuck. Fond memories. All right. Anyway, I just figured it's worth it to put some content over there as opposed to actually any other social media program or social media app right now. We'll see how it goes. Could be fun. I was watching a few videos and trying to understand like the format that everybody uses. And most of them are like funny or serious. Right? Now this one's trying to get away. So I don't know if there's, I did see one like artist making a something with pottery. So I don't know how much there is for, I don't know how much of an audience there is for like watching someone make chainmail. If I got a better camera, I could do like stop motion videos. That would be interesting. I might have to try that. Come here, you. Yeah, jeez. That ring's no good. TikTok seems to be the hot ticket. I just think that, you know, as much effort as I put into building an audience on Facebook, right? I try not to get too political. You know, I try to focus on Chainmail, both on my personal page and on the MailleWerX page. And it's not that I won't, but that is just not what my page is about. And so I tend to stay away from anything other than Chainmail or like personal stuff. Jen Martinez does tie anodizing on TikTok. Yeah, I follow her. Hey Peg, how you doing? So my guess is that there's an audience and that it's easier to get in front of that audience as opposed to Facebook. Just being honest. Because Facebook wants money, right? In order for you to promote your stuff. Not that I'm above that or anything. I am currently running Facebook advertisements right now and have been experimenting with that for the last week. Find an audience outside of the chainmail community for chainmail themed stuff, right? Using the Facebook platform. Little Bruise trying to learn how to spin and dowel like a sword. Crack right in the shin. Oof. Ooh. That hurts me just thinking about it. I don't know. I think it'll be a good opportunity to introduce new people to chainmail and make a few new fans, and we'll see what happens. Okay. And it's kind of a challenge, right? Because if you're boring on TikTok, like you're not gonna hold your audience's attention. They'll just swipe to the next video. Come on. Threw that all the way across the desk. Totally meant to do that. So now I get to challenge myself how to be creative or entertaining for 1 minute or for 3 minutes or whatever their time limit is on their videos or whatnot. Okay. Seems like the more you try to wear and talk about making chainmail, people turn their noses up at it. Yeah, it's very niche, which is weird because I know hundreds of Dungeons and Dragons fans, and I know there are millions, and I know hundreds of Lord of the Rings fans, and I know there are millions, and I know hundreds of Warhammer 40k fans, and I know there are millions, and it's like, yeah, it's a, you know, ancient style of armor that protected people for the last 2,000 years pretty efficiently, long enough to stick around until World War II, you know? You know, there's a lot of misconceptions about it. What it is, where it came from. And it's like all the things that people do with it nowadays, right? Like, yeah, okay. There's jewelry and there's some costume armor stuff. Then there's companies like Maille Tech that they make chandeliers and curtains and you know, there was a Mars rover prototype that had the wheels wrapped in chainmail. I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's an education process, which one of the reasons why I like doing these streams, right? It's like you can go back and see that it took 60 hours or so to make the Raiders inlay. You're like, oh, why is chainmail so expensive? Okay, well, go watch this video where I opened and closed each ring. And come back and tell me how much you think it should be worth. You know? It is what it is. You know, people have their opinions. I just like doing it, so I keep doing it. Whether I'm successful at it is a whole other subject. Many chainmail makers you meet more akin to bench jewelers know which talk about weaves when I say you make it as well. Yeah, you know, there's this weird fucking thing in the chainmail community. Okay? And it irritates me. I understand if someone has designed a pattern with specific ring sizes, right? And they want to sell a tutorial and they don't want the sizes of the rings used given out or anything, right? It's like they're not filing for copyright protection or on their design. Nobody, I don't know. I don't think any chainmail maker that I know has that kind of time and or money to worry about that stuff. So it's a courtesy to not share the information they put in their tutorial, right? I get that. What I don't get is people who hoard on to this idea that they can't share their information or their design stuff because they think that another chainmail maker is going to somehow come into competition with them, right? Not that that can't happen. I know a bunch of people attend similar shows, right? But there are very few chainmail makers in the world, let alone people who do it professionally enough to be concerned about sharing information about what they make, right? It's like, I will have these beads in my store soon, and I will tell you every ring size in this bracelet, because I want people to be able to purchase these and have everything they need to move forward with making a similar bracelet, largely because I think they're badass. And I want people to buy lots of them, right? But some people, they'd be like, okay, here's the stone or whatever, right? You got to figure out what you need. And I've seen it over and over and over again, and it's just like, okay, if you're making a tutorial and that's how you make your money, fine. But if you're just doing it as a hobby, I don't know, maybe you want to break into the business someday. I don't know. I don't get it, right? Like, there's not enough people in the world who make chainmail to be in competition with me on anything I make, period. And I'm going to guess that there never will be. right? As much as I strive to spread the good word of the doctrine of chainmail, of the Church of Chainmail, as the abbot of the aspect ratio and the cardinal of the closure, you know, even my message doesn't get out that far. So, I don't know. It's a non-starter issue. I don't know why people think that they're gonna hoard this secret knowledge until they die somehow. And not help someone out. Totally agree. Why should I try and sell a toot to a... Why should you try and sell a toot to a fellow mailer? Yes, the monk of metal, the friar of the pliers. I got a whole list of those really bad jokes written down. Puns? Are they puns? I don't know if they're puns. Like, I'm not in the business of selling tutorials, right? I might okay. Piss me off enough about this subject and I might start making tutorials and giving them away for free. But I am not in the business of trying to like hide a ring size or how I did something from someone. Okay? You try and share the craft with as many children as possible? Yeah. I mean, I started when I was 14. I saw my uncle doing it in front of me with some old school galvanized steel rings, and it was like, okay, that's awesome. I want to do that. I'm sure I've shared my chainmail origin story on here a few times. But I got some it's telephone pole wire, and this will have them. Okay, I have a pair of really crappy clippers, like wire cutters, around here somewhere. Right? And I was 14 at the time. I had asked my grandpa for some wire, and he had this giant spool of lineman's wire out in the backyard for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, he was a lineman, right? So, like, it was in his professional capacity to use this stuff. But he had just picked up a stool of it. A stool. Yeah, a spool. He had just picked up a spool of it somewhere along the line and brought it home, and it was in their yard for like most of my childhood, from what I can remember. Free toots, get your free toots here. Yeah, you know, I mean, as long as I make them, I'll give them away. Like I said, anybody who like, that's how they make their living, or they come up with a specific design, I don't have a problem with that. But for like basic stuff, if you're like, no, I you know, no, Peg, don't feel weird. Like, that's proprietary stuff right there, and specifically what I'm trying to designate as not what I'm talking about, right? Like, people that won't show other people how to make chainmail because it's some kind of sacred, you know, art or something that no one else has figured out how to make, right? For your stuff, Peg, a tutorial and not sharing the information that you've gathered to make all that stuff, I completely get that. I don't know. I don't even think I would attempt a sculpture right now. Maybe one day. All right. That is all. God, this camera and lighting sucks. All 5 beads on this portion of it. Where are we at here? Ooh, ooh. It's a common weave. You're happy to share ring size and how you do it? Yeah. No, me too. Right? Like, I'm happy to share almost 100% of my stuff. You know. Talking Jat 4161, HP 3-1, Hacky Sack, and Coif. Okay. So, hour 2 has brought us to getting all 5 beads on the bracelet, but we did have to adjust the ring size for these X's here. I don't know, maybe that took 15 minutes. So we're probably about an hour and 45 into this project right now. Like, all told, had I sat down and done everything perfectly. And we will finish this tomorrow night. Oh, I'm missing a ring. Before we get started on something else. So, if you didn't watch the first part of this stream, normally I wouldn't ask anyone to go back and watch the first part of the stream. If you missed it, please go back and watch it. I was telling some stories about my friend's family that I grew up with, and this is the friend who is currently, their father is in the hospital and he's really sick, and we're gonna do some stuff to try and raise some money so that we can help them pay for their bills, because I love them dearly and they've been involved in my whole life. So I'm gonna do what I can. All right. Thank you very much for hanging out. I do appreciate it. All the likes, comments, and shares. Please be sure to check out MailleWerX.com for all your chainmail themed apparel and accessory needs. And if I'm not back tomorrow night, then the latest Friday. All right. You guys have a good evening. We will talk more about this later. I want you guys to have a good night. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.